angels. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I actually just launched this channel. This is only my second video, so I'm really not expecting a lot of people to view this video at this time, which makes me think that if you have aligned with this video, for many of you it's probably sometime in the future. But keep in mind that these messages are all quantum messages, meaning that they are meant to transcend time and space and meet you exactly when you're ready. So if you have been drawn to this video, you can trust that these messages are for you, because I'm getting that these messages are for a very small and specific group of divine feminines. I also want to note that while you will hear words and physical messages throughout this video today, it's really the energetic response moving through you that will decipher the messages. These are all high-level messages, and they're meant to be felt and translated by your intuition. So with that said, let's jump into today's video. Right away, it's coming through very strongly that if you are hearing this, you're an extremely powerful and ancient soul. Most likely, you have lived many lifetimes to prepare for this one, and many of you have either fully awakened to or are starting to awaken to your divine mission and purpose here on this earth. And if you are a part of that second group and you haven't fully stepped into it yet, trust that it's being revealed to you at this very moment. I want to kind of begin by addressing something that's coming through very strongly for the collective, and that is that many of you listening right now identify or have identified in the past with the twin flame journey. And I feel as though there's quite a spectrum here, and maybe a little bit of confusion in the collective around this whole like twin flame journey and your personal relationship with that label. But I know that many of our journeys and paths look quite differently, and that's okay. You know, some of you might be deeply attached to this identity at this time, and maybe you're currently on your journey, whether you're in separation or in union with your counterpart. Whereas for others of you, it's almost like I can feel it in my physical body, this resistance that comes up at the very mention of the word twin flame. It's almost as if you're like being repelled by the sound of that word. And maybe for this second group, you're kind of at a point where the twin flame label or journey just feels heavy, maybe confusing or even deeply painful for you. And I'm sensing that because, you know, that's because you either dealt with a catalyst twin flame who's someone who kind of triggered your awakening but wasn't your divine counterpart. They were here for that time for a reason, but it was supposed to end. Or maybe you've chosen just to step away from your twin entirely because the masculine chose not to rise into his divinity and do the shadow work that was really required to meet you where you were at in this lifetime. So, you know, regardless of where you stand on that spectrum, many of us have held on to this concept of what a twin flame journey should look like. And so anything that kind of strays from that concept, you might define as wrong, or it might cause you to believe that maybe this was all just like, almost like a fantasy or something just in your head. And yet, regardless of where you stand at this point in time, what I'm getting, your guides are saying, they're just giving me this resounding yes, that yes, you were and you still are on the twin flame journey. So whoever needs to hear that, let that speak as confirmation for you. And, you know, I'm really seeing that although this journey has been quite triggering and challenging, even deeply, deeply painful at times, when you can kind of move beyond that surface level emotion, the common thread within our collective is that, you know, in your heart, you really understand the power that this journey held for you. You recognize the deep soul transformation and awakening process that this connection has evoked. And you're deeply grateful for that as well. So, you know, whether you choose to identify as somebody on the twin flame journey currently, or if you've released it in the 3D entirely, it's really up to you. But I invite you to really hear the deeper message coming through, and that is that this twin flame journey has never been about connecting physically with another person. This journey has always been really about balancing your own divine feminine and divine masculine energies. This journey is about coming into harmony with yourself first. And once you reach that inner union, then you can align with the energy of divine union. And at that point, you have the freedom to choose who you want to connect with and who you want as your counterpart. Because again, we're always creating our reality. So it really is in your power and it's up to you. Sometimes we do have these soul contracts coming into this lifetime, but we also have free will. So it's up to you. And it's no longer about chasing or running at this point. It's no longer about a specific connection or staying bound to a soul contract. Like I said, it's about stepping into your full power. It's about coming into divine union and balance within, and attracting in someone who matches that vibration, whether that's with a high level soulmate or whether that is with a twin flame. So I'm going to pull a card now. Naturally, I just pulled the High Priestess, which is so fitting, and I'm really not surprised this came out because the High Priestess really embodies, balance and intuition and divine wisdom. She kind of holds that key to the unseen realms, and she's here to remind you that your journey is not just physical, but rather deeply spiritual. And I feel that those who are listening to and resonating with this message are really embodying the High Priestess energy at this time. As we move deeper into this reading, I really feel called to kind of switch gears a little and speak to the magnitude of your mission here on this earth. Because this is not an ordinary lifetime for you. This is a life that your soul carefully chose and prepared for. I see that before you incarnated on this, into this physical body on this planet, you kind of knew exactly what you were signing up for, right? And you understood the challenges, the lessons, and the growth that would come from being here at this time. But more importantly, you knew the impact you would have. You didn't come here to kind of live this ordinary life or go through the motions. You really came here to have an impact. You came here to create. You came here to heal, to teach, to uplift the entire collective around you. And for the divine feminine listening, know that your mission is both profound, but it's also uniquely yours. You are here at this point in time to help usher in this new earth. And we hear that word a lot, but the new earth, it's simply a higher dimensional reality built on the foundations of things like love, harmony, unity. And it's important to understand that this new earth, it's not just a place. Sometimes we have this vision of ascending to a new physical reality, but it's not outside of us. Rather, it's a vibration within us, and it's a frequency shift for the entire planet. And chances are, if you're hearing this, that your soul chose to play a significant role in anchoring that vibration into the collective consciousness. Simply by existing, simply by being in your authentic essence, you are actually raising the vibration of everyone and everything you come into contact with. So, your mission here is huge. And I really invite you to think about that for a moment. Just the fact that your presence alone is transformative. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly helping others to ascend to higher states of beings just simply by being. And this frequency, this kind of light that you carry is not something you have to force. It doesn't take effort. It's just simply who you are. Your light kind of radiates naturally. And those who are fortunate enough to connect with you, even if that's just passing by, you smile to a stranger, or if it's, a deep relationship and connection you have, but anybody who comes into contact with you is kind of forever impacted by your energy. I'm also getting a powerful message that the world awakens. As the world awakens, people are becoming more and more aware of your light. Most people have been unconscious to your gifts, and you've probably experienced this a lot. People are usually drawn to you and become almost addicted to your energy in the physical, or they're kind of repelled to you. But it's this strong energetic connection, and maybe you've kind of always understood this or kind of had a sense of what was happening at a higher level. But these individuals didn't. They may have kind of grasped it a little bit, but they couldn't wrap their head around it. And the message, that I'm getting is that as we bring this new earth into being, and we help others to kind of access these higher dimensions and these higher states, kind of these higher perspectives, I guess you could say, you are and you will be more and more seen and also valued for your inner essence and the work you're doing here. And this is kind of where this message will deepen a little bit. But while your energy is transformative in its own right, there's something more coming through, and I'm being shown that your mission also involves something maybe that you're creating and sharing with the world. So whether this is a project, a business, some type of art, or even just a message you're delivering, it holds an incredible, unique frequency, and it's a frequency that only you can bring. Your creation and what you're creating is infused with the essence of your soul, which means that no one else can replicate it. This is why your guides, I'm just hearing they're just kind of like cheering you on, and they're encouraging you to step forward boldly, because the gifts you're bringing into this world are part of the new earth tapestry, and they will help raise the collective vibration. And maybe, for some of you, this project, this creative endeavor is already in motion. You may feel the energy of it kind of beginning to pull you forward. Maybe you're becoming more curious. For others, this creation is still in its early stages, and maybe I guess that's where the curiosity is coming in, of like maybe you feel an idea forming, but you can't quite see the full picture yet. But know that it's okay to not have all the answers right now, or not have the full vision. Because what's important is that you keep taking steps forward and you continue to trust that the process will unfold in perfect timing. And your guides are also emphasizing that, while your creation, I guess your creation doesn't have to be perfect, is what's coming through. Maybe in that traditional sense, because it already carries divine perfection in its frequency. And we've become so conditioned to think that grind and hustle will bring us success. And of course, we must be led to take inspired action and put in efforts. However, that's such an old way of thinking. And the thing is your soul has ascended to such a high level that, you don't manifest in the same way that many others do. For many, it is about putting in that hard work, but you're manifesting in the fifth dimension. And so what matters most is the energy that you infuse into whatever it is you're creating. It's the authenticity, the love, and the intention behind it. So keep that in mind, because it's like I can almost see some people getting frustrated or trying to do things the old way, because that's intuitively what we know. I shouldn't say intuitively, because that's what we've been taught, I guess, but our intuition knows better. And when you create from that place of your highest self and your frequency and your vibration and your authenticity, you can't fail in that. So let's go ahead and pull another card and see what's to come through. And what came through is the Four of Wands. So this card represents community, celebration, and alignment. It also carries the energy of not just completion, but divine purpose. And I think this card is really serving as a reminder that your soul's work is supported, celebrated, and deeply connected to a larger collective mission. So maybe this card is not only a confirmation of your path, but also a reassurance that, again, I think I said this earlier, if not, it came to me, but it's a confirmation that you cannot fail. When something is linked to your divine purpose, the only possible outcome for you is success. So I invite you to really let that sink in for a moment. Imagine living your life fully embodying the truth that your failure is not even a possibility for you. And if you knew that to be true, if you trusted in that completely, what would you create? And really sit with yourself and ask yourself that question. I keep having this image, and I used this word before, of tapestry, but I just keep seeing this picture of this huge glowing gold tapestry. And I think this tapestry really represents the collective mission we are all working towards together. And if you can really see that your unique creation, what you are here to create, it's your own thread in this tapestry. Its beauty and purpose is amplified by the way it intertwines with others. Each thread, each contribution really adds to the design. And I think the Four of Wands reminds us that we are not doing this alone. Even here on Earth, maybe at times you feel alone, but you are surrounded by a soul family, both in the physical and spiritual realms. And, we are here to support and co-create together. And when you align with your creative purpose and share your unique frequency with the world, you really give others permission to do the same. I think that's the power in it all. It's your light that's inspiring others' lights. And together we can really create something far greater than we could ever achieve individually. I think your guides are calling you to lean into trust. Everything you've experienced in your life, every challenge, every triumph, it's been preparing you for this very moment. And maybe there have been times when you doubted yourself or wondered if you were on the right path. Maybe this brings us back full circle to, the twin flame journey. And you can know that wherever you are in this journey, or however you identify with this path, that your soul knew exactly what it was doing when it chose this lifetime. And that every twist and turn has kind of been part of your preparation. And now you are being called to really step into your power as a creator, as a healer, as a guide for others. Those experiences were vital to this process and to your ascension. This journey helped you to really awaken. It was always preparing you for this moment. So I guess, for those who are still in the depths of struggling with any type of pain or grief or loss from the twin flame journey, whether this was temporary or whether you're in separation, whatever it was, know that this journey was absolutely necessary to bring you to this point in time. And kind of have other messages going through, but I think they're going to go into a tangent. So I'm going to close out this reading and then maybe get into that in the next video. But, as we close out this reading, I just kind of want to leave you with this one final message, that what you are creating is not just for you. It's really a gift for the world. And through your creative expression, you're helping so many others to ascend to higher states of being and higher states of love. And some of you may feel called to share this creation widely. Others may feel that it's more meant for, it's meant more for an intimate audience, and you can trust your intuition with that. But what matters most is that you are bringing it into existence, because it is through your authentic expression that you help others, heal and grow and awaken. And you really are a beacon of light in this world, and it's in a world that's transitioning into something new and beautiful, and you're paving the way for that. You do have this profound mission and purpose here, and your creation is really a part of that transition. It's a part of the collective ascension, and it's a reflection of the divine love and purpose that flows through you. So, I ask you again, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you create? And the answer may not come immediately, and that's okay. It may not come for weeks or months or maybe even years, depending on where you are in this process. But trust that as you continue to align with your highest self, the clarity will seek you. So as we end today's reading, I want to thank you so much for being here and for sharing your light with the collective, with our soul family, and with the world. If these messages do resonate with you, feel free to like, comment, or share, as this really helps this channel grow and connect with so many more souls in the collective. But I think that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will connect with you in the next video.